Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. It is a beautiful, beautiful Saturday. You know what? We've had a couple really cold days. Today was mild enough to mess with your sinuses and things. You know, where it's getting cold, it's getting warm, it's getting cold, it's getting warm, that sort of thing. But it was a nice day to get out and do some shopping and just hang out and enjoy the day in December. It should be warm like this in the state of South Carolina. What is it like in North Carolina or in Georgia? Curious about that. If you want to be a part of the show, text line is 71307. So send us a text and we will try to read those. Also, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and the X at either, Upstate Pulse or 989 WORD. Going to do my best to keep it civil today because I've had a rough couple days, and sorry we're missing people. No explanation as to why we're missing people, but we're missing people. Odie is not here. He is excused because he is on stage right now at Clemson Little Theater doing his nephew of Scrooge thing, and I'm sure he is doing an excellent job. Seen some pictures of him. They look really good. Let's face it, Odie, pretty good actor, so I'm sure he's having. I'm not going to noob you. Why? Because I messed up. I'm going to noob myself then. All right, I had the wrong mic. It's all right. You know what? It's a no noob zone today.
No, it's not.
Yeah. No. I do. Because I had your mic down and had that mic up. So at the last second, I had to jump around and jump over to a different computer to run everything. So I did. I did. One person is saying they thought they told me yesterday. That's fine. It's cool. It's cool. All right. On today's show, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, including the Christmas special. We're going to talk some pop culture. We're going to talk a couple video game series that are on TV, technically on TV, they're on stream, that are coming out. One is a season 2, one is a season 1. We are going to be talking video games. Video Game Awards happening next week. And there's a certain game that Cameron and I have played that is up for a ton of awards. We're going to get to that. We're also going to get to Nerd Roundtable. Before I get to anything, though, absolutely anything, I want to talk to you about Borderlands Comics and Games, 410 South Pleasantburg Drive. Make sure you go and check it out because it's almost Christmas, and maybe you got someone in your family who's into comic books, who's into statues, who's into Funko Pops, who's into Dungeons and Dragons, who's into tabletop games, who's into vintage video games, also known as vintage video games. If you know someone who's into all that kind of stuff, go to Borderlands Comics and Games and get them a gift today or tomorrow, or they're open 7 days a week. So you go in, check it out, say hello to Rob and the guys, and make sure you tell them that you heard about it right here on the Upstate Pulse. I'm sure they and we will appreciate it. All right. On the stream right now, Chris says, "What's up, fellas?" What's up, Chris? Mark says, "Hey guys, shout out to Kid Flaccid. Lonzo, how long before WWE fire CM Punk? I give it 6 months to a year." You know what? Let's go ahead and start there. I wasn't going to talk about that. Let's go ahead because, all right. So CM Punk, I've never really cared for him too much. We're going to talk a little wrestling here, but a lot of other people, by the way, that's Cameron over there. Hi, Cameron.
I'm here.
Yeah. Thank you for being here, Cameron. Yes. And I do so appreciate it. One person was scheduled, one is not. So it's okay. It's all right. CM Punk, gone forever, supposedly did a pipe bomb that shocked everybody, but it was scripted, and he's even said so. And if it wasn't, they would have pulled the plug on it because, they have control of that kind of stuff. So they do that. And he's a man of the people. He doesn't know. He's not. He's not. From my understanding, in the building, from some people who have actually interviewed him, he's not really a nice guy. So some problems were caused when he was in AEW, when he came back. They even designed an entire show on Saturday nights, which comes on like about an hour from now, just for him. And then more trouble happened. He was let go. We found out that Bryan Danielson is one of the people who was on or headed up the committee to let him go. And had to be done. And then there was the big shocker last Saturday night as Survivor Series was going off the air. Punk's music hits and he walks out. And I don't understand why WWE needs him. I guess they don't really need him right now. Business is good for them. AEW, listen, I like AEW. There's some things they need to do to fix some stuff, but at least in the United States, they're having trouble filling stadiums or filling arenas, and WWE is not having that problem. But I mean, they're a stalwart. They've been around forever, and business is doing really good. I am scared that you bring in this guy and he sows seeds of discord in the back and causes problems to the point where, things go badly. The one thing about it, I didn't think about that till just now. He is working for an employer that he's worked for before, and that would be UFC, because the guys who own UFC now own WWE. And when Punk went out and embarrassed everybody twice by just going out and getting his face beat in, well, I guess they would be quick to fire him. So maybe, as I rethink this, let him come in. And what I really think in the end, the reason why he's there is two reasons. One, to legitimize the new title that Seth Rollins is wearing. And the other is because until it's Cody time at WrestleMania, you got to have someone else to wrestle the part-timer known as Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns against Punk supposedly would be a good match. In reality, Roman should just destroy CM Punk.
Yeah. I used to be a big CM Punk fan when I was a kid, but just over time I've realized he just kind of sucks. Just in general, because everything about him is so disingenuous. Like, I know I get kayfabe, I get all that stuff, but you have people like the New Day, they always stay, or like those guys, they always stay what they are. They are always true to like the character of what they're doing and exactly what they are. This guy, he just.
So if you are a wrestling fan, what do you think about CM Punk? I mean, obviously there's still some people out there who cheer him when he shows up. And I think those are people who think they're fringe, they're the cool ones, they're all that. You know what? And maybe you are. Maybe I don't know what cool is. I do know. Yeah, possibly. It could be. By the way, Scott, I see you on the stream. What you're talking about, we can't talk about on the show because we'll stay away from politics. Not saying I agree or disagree. I do think the story has been interesting to follow. Speaking of following, if you want to follow us, we are on the text line at 71307 or on the stream at Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or the X at either Upstate Pulse or 98.9 WORD. All right. Also, I want to talk to you about the Upstate Pulse Christmas karaoke special, which is coming up in just a few weeks.
Oh boy.
And we got some surprises for you. Hopefully people show up, but we got some, I mean, maybe that's the surprise. But we do have some surprises for you. Unfortunately I had to work like 13 or 14 hours yesterday because of personnel problems. But as a result, I was able to see Charlie James, because since I moved to mornings, I don't get to see him very much. And he's like, am I still doing the songs? Like, yes, you are still doing the song. I don't think I've announced the song on the air, so I'm going to pretend like I haven't, even if I have. And I'm looking forward to that. And then I made sure I did face-to-face invite Charlie for the entire show. And he's going to check his schedule because it's fairly close to Christmas. It's just a couple of days before Christmas. He's going to check his schedule and he's going to let me know. So there is a chance that Charlie's on for the entire show. If not, he's going to be on for one song, and we already have the song picked out. It's going to be amazing without a doubt. Now, since it was requested on the text line or stream, I can't remember which, that I asked Bill Frady to do a song. I saw Bill Frady yesterday also. Yeah, it is. And he just happened to be in studio because he had some equipment problems. He had to come in and do a show live here. And so it worked out good. So I talked to him and he's like, I don't really sing. And I was like, yeah, I know, that's fine. I got an idea for something. And since I've enhanced that idea, which I have to let him know, something that he'll enjoy even better. But he's like, can I just do like David Lee Roth's part on Me Wise Magic at the beginning, the just the talking? It's like, yeah, it's called spoken word. Yeah, you can do that. But I've got something even. Yeah, well, I don't know. Well, according to academies or whatever that decide that stuff. So I have an idea, and I think it's a pretty good idea, and I'm going to run it by Bill, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it when we get it done. And we still got a few weeks to take care of that. But, those are things that we're going to have, as they say in the business, in the can, which means, they're recorded, they're ready to go. In this case, it's a very large can. Those big cans of yams or green beans or something. Yeah, it's a bit.
Like those thick ones?
Yeah, the big ones. I mean, the really big ones, the industrial size.
Oh yeah.
The can's bigger than those. So we are going to. Here's what we do in the Upstate Pulse annual Christmas karaoke special, which yeah, we do. This is either the 8th or 9th year. I don't know. I'll go back and check. In the end, it doesn't matter. Nearly a decade we've been doing this, and we have fun. We are live. We do karaoke music, Christmas music, and we also do it by request. So if you say, hey, can you do Silver Bells as Kermit the Frog? Someone here can probably do Silver Bells as Kermit the Frog. What we also like to do is we like to do duos. We don't like to do, just one person singing, because we're going to have, in theory, a lot of people here. And yeah, well, we'll see. You don't need to get in on this. And so when they get here, or when they're here, we like to have, at least 2 people to a song. So be thinking of your songs. I know I've been saying this every week, but as we get closer to it, I'm going to continue to remind you about the Christmas karaoke special. And also, I want to know, text line 71307 or hit us up on the stream. Should I ask Tara? Because what should I ask her to do? Because I don't want her to feel left out. Not that she would, but she might. And I have no problem with asking Tara and seeing if she. I fixed that. Thank you, Chris. Seeing if Tara wants to do something on the Christmas karaoke special. And maybe she just wants to come in and watch. It doesn't have to do anything. Just give her a thumbs up or thumbs down.
We need to have a Tara cam.
Or maybe if she doesn't want to participate, maybe I'll just take a picture of her with thumbs up and a picture of her with thumbs down. And we'll just go to Tara Cam every once in a while and find out if she's okay with the song, if she thought it did well or not. I don't know. All right, we got a ton of stuff to get to. Bear in mind that I would try to get to everything, but I am doing everything right now. So not that I'm incapable. I'm definitely capable. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to talk about pop culture and a couple other things. Also, I want to remind you, if you want to be a part of the show, text line is 71307. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, X, at Upstate Pulse or 98.9 WRD. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. So low.
I was about to say, can we talk? Because it didn't sound like it was.
You weren't in utility. My bad. So they didn't hear you.
It sounded like you were just talking to yourself.
It's all right. I mean, if you look at the room, basically, yeah.
Well, I'm like half of you, so. Thank you, Chris. Because we definitely don't want the audience to be deprived of me.
Matthew has finals. The other person has not commented. So.
Is that just an automatic nerfing or?
All right. There's a D&D question that you'll have to answer.
Ooh.
Yeah. If you can.
I'll try.
When I found out I had less people, I canceled out some of parts of the board, because if I leave them on, you get extra noise, and I just push the wrong one. So, but again, I'm not noobing myself because I'm very disappointed right now. I don't know. Did they get the better deal? Maybe. You could be right, Mark. It remains to be seen with what Adam Copeland does. So far, all I've seen him really do is drop an F-bomb. So, I mean, we'll see how he wrestles, and we'll see how the story. I mean, doing storyline with Christian is a good idea, and because his whole storyline is awesome. But
has Edge like addressed as like, what happened to you?
Yeah, that's part of the story that's going on right now.
You come back, your best friend's a villain, wearing a turtleneck.
Chris, I'm not opposed to trial by combat, but the thing is, I'm gonna need a second because I'm infirm right now. So I mean, if you want to be my second,
I was about to say, I think we all know who your second is. Who your second usually is.
Nah, you're too close to the situation.
Oh, okay.
You bring someone else in.
Well, we also need to give him a chance.
More D&D questions coming in. So
see, the texters provide.
Dude, we're fine.
I know.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that.
Also, Chris is also a really good second. Now that I think about it, I don't know why I said anything.
So probably a better second than you.
Probably.
I mean,
I don't know what I was talking about.
I gotta be honest. You know,
it's like I had to remember for a second. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right."
Oh wow, did Alabama just win?
I think they might have. They did.
Aw.
I know somebody's going to be disappointed, and I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I also know someone who's going to be disappointed, so I'm not going to say a whole lot because I want them on the Christmas special.
Oh. My apologies.
Oh, they're probably still going to get in the playoff because they're in one. They're at one. They're probably going to drop to 4, and then we're going to end up with 2 SEC teams again in the playoff. Shouldn't be, but we'll see. Or maybe Alabama wins but doesn't get in. I don't know. It's going to depend on what happens the rest of the night.
With Lonzo, I can't stand him. He deserves a job.
It's the Upstate Pulse.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. I made sure I put that on the stream a little bit so you can hear my friend Gunther talking about the ring, talking about how he would like to chop me.
I love that spot so much.
Yeah, well,
a little too much.
LexCorp wrote that, and he thought it was hilarious.
He has good taste.
Yes, he was right. It was pretty funny, except for, I was in the same room with Gunther and saw how large those hands are, and can't imagine what that would feel like to get crushed by one of those.
We could probably do like a science experiment to see how much of your skin it cooks off when he smacks you.
Well, the thing is, they're not allowed to do that for legal reasons.
I know.
Because I really wanted him to chop Rob.
Have you ever heard?
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
I mean, Rob, let's face it, Rob deserves to be chopped, but
he also deserves to be on the wall. But
he does, but he's just too good. All right, I said I would get to text. We have some D&D text line, by the way, 71307. Texter says, if you cover D&D, which we're going to right now, how do you justify the new demon list and the fallen deities as a game? Okay, it jumped on me there, so I don't see the rest of that. The same texter says, Lonzo, the deity and demigods was revised to include types of demons. It has dangerous fallen angels listed. As a kids game, when I played D&D, all of us were adults. I gamed in the Navy. Chicago Library is the best library. Sailors were studying Aleister Crowley and many fallen angels. Yeah.
So what exactly is the question?
Aleister Crowley I think they are unhappy with the naming of demons and things like that because they may actually be naming known demons.
Like they're being legit about it as opposed to like making up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't really like that. It's if you're gonna do something like that, make them different, make them away from anything that could be tied to anything in like real life, as far as like things have been mentioned or named or anything like that.
All right. On the stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or the X, you can check us out at 98.9 WRD or Upstate Pulse. Tracy says, Zoe is a bot, but the legend of all bots. Thank you. I thank you very much. I don't do a bot voice as good as Matthew does, but Matthew's got finals. You know,
Would you be Zobot then?
yeah, I guess I would. I would also be so amazing. I absolutely would. You know what also is amazing? It's Patriot Wear. And you can check out Patriot Wear if you go to our website, News Talk 98.9 WRD, and buy some Patriot Wear, some cool looking t-shirts. Lee came up to me and was like, man, that shirt looks good. And I said, I know, Lee, it does. I'm a very good model of the t-shirts. They've got some cool t-shirts there. They've got some hats. I know Charlie likes the little hats. I don't like the little hats because I got a large head. So they got trucker hats that will fit someone with this size head. They absolutely do. Tracy, why are you leaving? Tracy says, all right, see you Monday. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Tracy. You're probably getting ready to watch something else. And that's fine. That's excusable, but I appreciate you jumping in there. Speaking of jumping, I also want to say for the second weekend in a row, recognize while I was out live this time in a grocery store, don't normally go on days when a lot of people are there. For a couple reasons, because there are people there. And the other reason is, for, paparazzi, because, I like to throw them off. And shout out to JD if he just happens to catch this, came up to me, and I love the always, are you Lonzo? Like, I am.
How
if you
who
watch
would
me
you be?
Well, I mean, there's a doppelganger. I met him. I've met him.
You have?
Yes, I've met the doppelganger. There is a slight resemblance, not nearly as big as I am. I met him at a Spartanburgers game. So he'd been recognized a bunch of times, and they ask if he's me, and he just says, yeah. And I'm like, you holding up the name, right? You're not doing. He's like, no, we're good. I was like, okay.
You better not be misrepresented.
Yeah. Don't misrepresent the station and the name and all that.
You know what you should do? Hire him as like your stand-in.
Ooh, it'd be like a Padme situation.
Yeah, a body double.
Yeah, I don't know. We know what happened to those.
Yeah,
that's not a good thing.
Handmaidens, they don't have a long life expectancy.
They do not. We were having a conversation, Cameron and I, earlier about pop culture, and I am curious. Text line 71307 or hit us up on the stream. What is pop culture to you? Because is pop culture a state of mind? Is a certain thing that you're into? What is it? Is it music? I mean, can you define what pop culture is? This is a pop culture show for sure. Now, do we hit on everything? No, we hit the pop culture that we're into, and we don't mind talking about the pop culture that you're into. Speaking of which, what you into? Clean, please.
Yeah.
Clean, please. Yeah. Text line. Not always.
By the way, immediately what sprung in my head was Kerrygold.
Yes. Speaking of which, Odie will be back in 2 weeks when his run on the stage is over. I always feel weird saying break a leg. I know that's what you're supposed to say, and I've said it to him a couple of times, and I'm like, man, I hope he doesn't really break a leg.
Well, it might not be his leg.
Oh, okay. All right. Irish Mafia. Look out.
That's like whenever anybody says, like, have you ever broken any bones? Mine or anybody else's?
There you go. This
is never specific.
That is a very good question. All right. So Cameron, what's pop culture to you?
All right. Well, I think the thing with pop culture is it's a very broad spectrum of things. So pop culture, pop is short for popular culture. So it's whatever is popular within like social stuff at the moment. So like superheroes, part of pop culture. You got video games, part of pop culture. You have all these different things that are like associated with it. And maybe even sports is technically pop culture.
See, I don't know about that. I'm also curious. So a text line says pop culture is anything that's trending. See, here's the thing though. I am curious if pop culture has a demographic. So what's
or are there different pop cultures for the demographics?
right. So different age groups, different pop culture. So does the 12-year-old that's into Naruto look at me and go, "Old man, you don't know what pop culture is"?
And he says,
which-
believe it.
And which does he? Is that what he says? Which I say, "Shut up, kid. You don't know what pop culture is. Go One Piece." And so I've never really thought about what it is exactly.
I think it's
I
one of
think
those
you've got to define it for yourself.
It is a very ambiguous term because it means something very broad, but then it also means something very specific.
So another reason why
If
I'm
that makes
bringing
sense.
it up is, are we covering enough here on the show? And let's face it, the show varies depending on who's here, who shows up, all that kind of stuff. It depends. I mean, that depends on what we're talking about. Like in the case today, thought I was going to have 4 people. And when I write a show around the people who are going to be here and what they're into, because I know what everyone's into to a degree. I don't know everything that Matthew's into because he has depth as far as some of his nerddom that we have yet to explore. But he's
Do we want to
he's
explore
really
it?
no, yeah. I want to know. And let's face it, when Will's on, Will's into some stuff ain't nobody around here into, but it's his own thing. He's got a different lingo. He's got a different everything, and sometimes it's hard to grasp. But I've seen him posting on social media, and the stuff that he's saying, it gets responses by people who are into what he's into. And I'm not saying he's into anything weird because I don't understand. So I don't know. Maybe it's weird. I mean, it could be some really out there stuff, but it's like a totally different language.
What
sometimes.
is weird if not a thing you just don't understand?
Well, I guess.
Doesn't make it bad.
No, weird is when birds surround my car. That's weird. Okay.
That's just your life.
It is. It absolutely
Odd
is.
things happen to you all the time.
All right.
Just like they happen to me all the time.
A couple trailers dropped today, and we are going to talk about those trailers. We're also going to get into the video game awards, which come out next week, and who we think is going to win at a bunch of that stuff. Nerd Roundtable, so many things. If you want to be a part of the show, text us at 71307 or hit us up on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or the X at 98.9 WRD or the Upstate Pulse. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Southerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms again tomorrow, high of 69. Cloudy tomorrow night, lows around 42. Meteorologist Jennifer Huchitsky from News Talk 98.
In Avenged, a true nerd. What is in Avenged?
In Avenged?
It's like the letter N, Avenged. I don't. Again, I don't know what that is. You look that up.
Yeah, I am.
Timely news and information curated for you and the Carolinas. Inflation problem. President Putin's war in Ukraine.
Baby formula shortage.
Another mass shooting.
Donald Trump's Florida mansion.
The Daily Download. Destroy it after you read.
Is it just a word or
I said the letter N and then the word Avenged.
is there a space?
Yes.
All I keep getting is Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay. Well, maybe they're into music. I don't know.
Don't use an allergic to Skyrizi.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infection may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Sky Lizzie, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything.
Oh, great. The channel I turned to is not working. I didn't really want to watch Michigan anyway. Not like I have time. Let's go there. Let's see if I can watch Florida.
Oh, that's an injury.
Yes, that looks like that was painful.
The guy from SMU is down. What is SMU?
A SMU?
Yeah, the SMU.
SMU is it's a white thing. Creature. It's hard to explain.
No, I mean that's SMU.
What's SMU? What?
The SMU on screen.
SMU. Southern Methodist University. Okay. Okay. All right. I got you now.
I keep wanting to say Tulane is Tulane.
So, SMU was actually a thing.
Yes. Okay.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best.
Also, SMU is relatively prestigious. Or prestigious.
Yeah. They weren't for a while. They were in a cheating scandal and they lost their football program for like a long time.
Oh.
Yeah. I believe that was them. Not really in the sports frame of mind at the moment.
So they were like Michigan.
Yeah, so Michigan will get away with it. If only Scooby-Doo was on the case.
All the bad guys do for some reason.
It's true. MarketplaceAmerica.org has premium health insurance plans starting at $0 a month. Come on down to Billy Joe Jim Bob Jr.'s used trailer and hot tub accessory emporium. Double
Wides, we got them. Triple wides, we got them. And for you hipsters, we got the original tiny houses. We call them single wides. Come on in and buy one of our spacious homes, and we'll throw in absolutely free your very own genuine flaming T-shirt cannon. Nothing brightens up your shindig or hootenanny like a T-shirt gun that's straight fire. So come on down to Billy Joe Jim Bob Jr.'s used trailers and hot tub accessory emporium today.
All children who are accompanied by an adult will receive a free pair of opera glasses and a snow cone.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. His name is Cameron. We are having a lot of fun on a Saturday night. So,
One for Christmas time?
not yet. Not yet. By the way, that is Chris Evans' most hated Christmas song of all time. Wonderful Christmas Time. I don't know why he hates it so much, but he absolutely does.
Because you're simply having one for Christmas time. He wants more depth.
You know what? I didn't think about that. Maybe it does have to do with it being simply. You can simply be a part of this show by texting us at 71307, including we had a couple texts that say break a leg is about John Wilkes Booth.
Oh.
So
Oh, that's dark.
it does a couple of different texters doing that. So it must be true. Multiple sources tell us.
So the question is like break a leg as in like they want to jump.
No.
Did John Wilkes Booth break his leg?
He broke his ankle when he jumped.
That's
off
right.
The,
That's right.
Off
I
the
thought
thing. So I guess that's been that's a horrible thing
So that's
to be
basically just like-
associated with that. But I guess
It's basically
guess
just
it
like
is.
saying, "Hey, I'm an actor." Oh, screw you! Break a leg.
All right, this is funny because I doubt Gerald in Cowpens is actually listening to this show because he absolutely loves me. because he texted Charlie 27-24 Bama like I predicted. So he's rubbing it in on Charlie, but I won't because I can't wait for Charlie to be on the Upstate Pulse annual Christmas karaoke special because it is going to be a lot of fun. You know what's not a lot of fun is when something gets loose on the road. And something got loose on the road in Michigan, which could be any number of things in Michigan.
Was the juice loose?
No.
Was a moose loose?
No, the juice got loose and transferred out of South Carolina. But anyway, a cow has been recaptured after it caused quite a commotion on a Michigan highway on Friday. So around here, that's no big deal. We've seen cows loose a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Our neighbor cousin Tony got to see him try to round up a cow once. That was a lot of fun.
Cowboy, he
yes.
ain't.
My wife many times has come over a hill and saw a cow standing there in the middle of the street. So it's no big deal for us, but in the middle of Michigan, it's a big deal. Traffic on US 131 in Grand Rapids came to a grinding halt at about 8:50 a.m. when a cow managed to escape from a trailer it was being transported in, authorities say. Tom Murphy, a road patrolman for the road patrolman for the Kent County Road Commission, was among the drivers who got caught in the cow-caused backup. Such a well-written thing.
Done better.
I start merging into traffic, that was all backed up, and there's this black Angus steer running towards us, towards my truck, Murphy says. And I thought, that's why the freeway's messed up, Michigan is
Southern Canada.
Yes, it is. Fortunately, Murphy owns a cattle farm in Martin, so he has experience wrangling cows. We went about catching this thing, with our vehicles to make a pinch point, because you make a pinch point, and then anyway, so we made a pinch point to get it back onto the cattle hauler. That's what he said. He snuck through our trucks twice, After the third try, we gave him no place to go except for the center barrier wall and then back into the cattle trailer. So my question is, Cameron, what would you do? How would you rustle a cow into a trailer? Or would you just stay in your car and hope that it just
some other person would be unlucky enough to have to deal with it?
Yeah. I mean, do you think someone around here knows what to do? I'll just wait till they come out and do it.
It depends.
And what if they go, hey, buddy, come here. You got to help me.
I was like, well, this will be a great story for the air if I survive.
Yeah, well, if you survive, because depending on what kind
if it's a cow, I should be fine. If it's a bull or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could be trampled by a cow.
I could.
You might be licked by a cow. You don't want that to happen. Their tongues are.
I don't want either.
Yeah, they have big tongues. It's an odd feeling.
I am very good at evasion for my size.
Are you? Okay. All right. I have when I was a little kid, I don't know, it was like 7 or 8. We were playing at my aunt's house outside, my sister and I, when a bull got loose. And it was going nuts all over the place. And we came in and said, there's a mean cow. And then we got yelled at by someone, I don't remember who. And I think my sister started crying. And they're like, you need to quit making stuff up. And then they looked out the back patio through the sliding glass door, and there went the bull. And then the bull decided to go out on the road and challenge a truck.
Did it win?
Who? Which one?
The bull.
Kind of. Yeah, it did. It did. It tore that truck up. I remember that. Let's see. Texter says, Lonzo, I'm a real nerd. I don't have to fake it. Good. Also, Texter says, I shoot the thing and have a barbecue. There you go. Would you call it brisket or would you call it beef? I don't understand the brisket thing. It's meat. It's meat. Fry up the meat, cook up the meat, stew up the meat.
Exactly. Meat's meat, no matter how you make it.
Barbecue or I'll put it on the smoker and enjoy the meat. So
I prefer spit roast, but
here's the thing. I mean, when you think of certain states, you think that there's no way that they could understand how to deal with cattle. I mean, You think of New Jersey. What are they going to do in New Jersey?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, we've been to New Jersey. You think New Jersey can't?
Also,
but-
the cows would be too depressed to try and leave. They
Yeah.
just understand.
and
their
they
lot
wouldn't
in
be able
life.
to turn left, so to be able to hurt them.
No.
Yeah. So you could just hurt them. You hurt them right in there because they cannot turn left. Let's see on the stream. By the way, check us out on the stream on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, or the X at 98.9 WRD or Upstate Pulse. Trey Davis says that soundbite that says Lonzo is a superstar has become an earworm to me, and I got my little girl saying it too. And thank you. So we have a thing called Cartwall. We don't have it over here. We could, but we don't because Odie does not need it. Because it
He
would,
just is one.
No, it would be bad if Odie had Cartwall. And one of the sound bites that I had found, Dari Noka said that talking about Lonzo Ball. I kept it for 2 or 3 years before I was finally able to use it. Because
I remembered when you talked about that too.
yeah, I said someday I'll be able to use this. So I will, if I find things, I will archive them because, like Pennywise said, I am eternal, at least here, so far.
Of
So
all
so
of
far.
the things to reference.
Well, I
why
mean, that's
particular-
when I think of eternal, Pennywise pops into my head.
You could have picked a nice immortal being.
So I'm very patient. When I find stuff, I keep it, and hopefully at some point I'll be able to use it. And I had kept it, and then I found the spot to use it in. And of course, everyone just absolutely loves it, especially Rob Brown from the Rob Brown Show. I don't know if you knew this, Cameron,
Is he slamming his fists against
but
the
Rob
post?
Brown is actually on the Rob Brown Show.
Is he?
Yeah, I know. It's like you tune into the Rob Brown Show with Lonzo, because that's what it says with, because I'm a with and an and. But Rob Brown's actually on
At
that
least you're
show.
not an or.
Well then, but then you got to choose, and you don't want to do that. So with and an and is better than that. All right, we got another break to take. When we come back, we got some more stuff to get to. Like I said, we are going to be talking video game awards. We've got some nerd roundtable stuff to talk about. I'll go ahead and fill out a question. The first question from the nerd roundtable is there superhero fatigue? Do you have superhero fatigue? If you listen to the show, then you know we talk a lot of superheroes here. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Carolina's most trusted forecast from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Cloudy skies tonight with scattered thunderstorms likely. Lows around 58. Southerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms again tomorrow. High of 69. Cloudy. Tomorrow night. Lows around 42. Meteorologist Jennifer
Hey, would you hand me my other drink, please?
Yes. That shall be your Garcon.
Thank you, Garcon. I will get to all your texts and your and respond to your messages in just a moment while we are on the air.
Thanksgiving week here at D&D Ford. We have 2.9% financing on new F-150s available with approved credit. Come in and check out our great selection. We've got over 30 in stock. We've got 20 on the way. We have great.
That is a contrast of taste. Going from the nectar of the gods, which is Diet Dr. Pepper, to Diet Coke. It was necessary, though. I know you love the Diet Coke. I get that.
Well, I've switched.
No, actually, I don't get it. But, I mean, you know.
There's a lot of things you don't get about me, Dad.
Okay. All right.
I'm different.
Hopefully I don't kill the camera.
Yeah, that'd be bad. So I got a question for you. Never mind. I'm not going to do that.
Yes, it's better to burn out than to fade away.
Oh, yeah, I definitely know that.
Yeah, it is.
You know, they kept trying to get my head during that whole thing. It's like, I'm not that kind of immortal. I ain't part of this whole weird alien thing. The Kurgan just kept attacking me whenever I'd show up somewhere. It's just like, not me.
There can be only one. So, wow, guys. Keep it coming. I will get to it in just a moment when this here break is over.
Is your break.
So I'm very frustrated about a video game. When we talk about it next hour, definitely need some advice. Want to know what you guys do when you get in a situation, because I am in a situation.
I'm in a pickle.
I am, one of them there pickles, and it's not a tasty pickle. It's a pickle that's rather
rancid.
It's been in the fridge too long, and you can't find the expiration date, and you're just like, you know what, I want a pickle. I'm going to take a chance, and then you shouldn't have.
Because they keep exclaiming that I've turned myself into a pickle, Morty.
Are you quoting Pickle Rick? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. I was kind of guessing that you're probably quoting that. And I don't think I saw any episodes with Pickle Rick in it, so I don't know what.
He kills a lot of things in that episode.
Does he?
He usually kills a lot of things, but man. It's like one of those things of, I want to play things at the hardest difficulty, and then you still just tear it up.
Warrants, patents of nobility. I've even been known to jot down a poem or two at the Muse descent. Probably read the book. Book of the Duchess. Fine, well, it was allegorical. Oh, we won't hold that against you. That's for each man to decide for himself. It's the Upstate Pulse.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Just a few minutes left in this hour, but we've got one more big hour. I don't know what makes an hour big or not big, but everyone says that. One more big hour. So is the hour fat? Is it a fat hour? I don't know. I don't. You know, we have semantic discussions.
Technically, isn't content meant to be consumed? Usually you'd like a bigger portion of something.
So,
good.
yeah, I guess you can glut on content to the point where.
We are a fine steak dinner.
Okay. All right. We'll go with that. Text line 71307.
Maybe it's too romantic.
Maybe. Texter says, "Hey, spit roast. That would take a lot of spit." I don't know that I said that, but I probably did. So.
Oh no, that was me.
Oh, okay. Was it? Well, here's the thing. It doesn't have to come from one person. I mean, it's a collective. I mean, you get a lot of people to. Anyway.
2 on one side, 2 on the other.
Yeah, there you go.
Lift up.
All right. Texter says, Lonzo, Jesse Smollett is a ham actor like John Wilkes Booth. I'm guessing it's Smollett, but I just, it's maybe they did that. Texture says, "Play We Will Rock You." Heath Ledger's A Night Tale. Still, I love that movie. It's still one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't get the music part. I mean, when they're dancing to Golden Years, it's just like, okay, all right. This is so weird. But
that was the point.
I think maybe was it a Guy Ritchie movie or something like that? I think it might have been one of those directors that does odd things. All right, let's get to the stream. By the way, we are live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and the X. Let's see. JD says, "Lonzo, my dude, thanks for the shout outs. I'm listening as always. I'm sorry if I interrupted any of your Zen time." Dude, we were in checkout.
There's nothing Zen about that.
I mean, I had just been Christmas shopping and grocery shopping and hadn't done a thing of show prep yet. And I bet everyone can tell right now. I bet you can all tell.
Look,
I went home. Show prep for me is what you guys do during the day. You go, oh, that's cool, and you see what it is because it shows up on your X feed or your Facebook feed or Instagram or something, and you go check it out. That's all.
Hey, Mr. Oz, please pull back the curtain.
Yeah, well, I've already said that before, so it's a selling point. So the thing is, you have to hide it when your boss walks around, but we get to talk about it here. So there's that. Let's see. Duna Bros. Yes, I've been done with anything superhero since Endgame. So I ask if there's superhero fatigue. We're going to be really discussing it in depth in the roundtable. See, Viper Dave says, I have multiverse fatigue. It's a cop out at this point. Okay. I'm still going because I like this stuff. Speaking of the gods, this is Viper Dave. I went old school the other day and had to watch the 81 Clash of the Titans. By the way, I loved that movie. I was so much into mythology back then as a kid, as a teenager. And 81, I think it had Harry Hamlin as the star. You don't know who that is, but I think it had Harry Hamlin as the star. No, his name was actually Harry. I believe he was the star of and the Mechanical Owl was in that one. And the Titans look pretty good for that era.
Have seen that.
Yeah, for that era, it was not bad. Medusa was not bad. Dave said, "What a great movie!" Absolutely. I definitely did not appreciate it as much as I should have as a kid. That's the thing. You don't. I mean, when you're a kid, you're like, "Oh, this is really cool," and then you don't realize that maybe the next one's not going to be as cool. Dave says, "Starfield or Skyrim? Why do you got to pick?"
Why not both?
If I had to right now, if I had to go, this one's better than the other, I'm going to go with Skyrim. I love Starfield, by the way, and I think they're just getting started on it. I mean, you saw the improvements they made to Fallout 76, or maybe you did if you continue to play it. They made a ton of improvements to that game after launch. I think they're going to do the same for Starfield, and I have played a bunch of it, and I will go back to it. Dave says, I'm excited for the GTA 6 trailer. We're going to talk about that in the next hour also. And Dunabro says, I've never been able to get into GTA games. They're okay, but I can't get sucked in. I can't. I think it might be content that gets to
crass.
me. Yeah, it is.
If it was
now playing online or playing multiplayer where you're not doing storyline and you just play. Cameron and I played some and I had some fun with it. Except for the fact that I couldn't wreck a train. We did everything we could to wreck that stinking train.
That train's just invincible.
Yeah, we put dump trucks in front of it. We did everything we could to take care of that train. And that train, it just knocked everything off the tracks like a real train would probably do.
That train ain't got no brakes.
Although real trains can be derailed, but the video game train, you cannot wreck that train.
Hitting it in the side with a dump truck, I believe, would at least do something.
I doubt it. There's another train you can't wreck. It's a train called the Upstate Pulse. Been around for over 8 years, still going strong.
Choo-choo.
Still having a blast. Shout out to our sponsor, Borderlands Comics and Games, 410 South Pleasantburg Drive. Go check it out if you have any comic book and pop culture needs. By the way, coming up, we're going to talk video game awards, nerd roundtable, and so much more. And you know what? The show continues during the top of the hour break. So if you're not on the stream, jump on the stream and we will be talking to you. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
By the way, Trey, I will say that the Marvels was actually really good.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, and they talked about how woke it was. Not compared to a bunch of other stuff.
No, not compared
to half of an episode of Doctor Who. I mean, it was. I mean,
yeah, but Doctor Who's always been.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
we knew that was going to be that way.
Yeah.
They made Carol Danvers more of a person. They made her personable.
It's one of those things of like when you make the straight-laced character.
Yeah,
awkward,
Eternals I'm not interested in, by the way.
If you make a straight-laced character like that awkward in very funny situations, it adds to the humor.
The best part, the two best parts of Marvels is Kamala, because she's just
and her family too.
Yeah, and her family. You're right. She's just great. She really is. And then there's making Captain Marvel, making her like a person. She's not too OP this time. They brought that back a little bit, and I thought it was pretty good. I know when we gave our reviews, some people were unhappy with Monica Rambeau, but without her, you didn't get the reveal that you get at the end, which I still won't spoil. Even
Yeah,
though it's
also
been out for a
Monica was
couple weeks.
solid throughout the entire
She
thing.
was, but she was like, I don't want to say linchpin or glue or anything like that. She was not third wheel, but close.
She was essentially the smart person. She was the intellect in the group.
She was, and because is the smartest one in the group, so
Yes,
it makes sense.
because of how much she studied,
Disappointed didn't see Nick Fury's wife, but maybe we did.
Who knows? She might have been in there.
She might have been in the movie because
Also, the fact that Nick,
she's a Skrull, so I mean, you don't know.
that this is all ridiculous, and Nick Fury's just like, all right, what's next? Just taking it on the chin and just
let's say that you have superhero fatigue, but you like cats. You should go watch the movie. A lot of cats. A lot of cats. They're not really cats or flurgan, but oh, I probably should stop the one thing and start the other thing. I should do that. So many buttons.
Is there a big red one?
If there was, I already would have pushed it.
Hey.
I'm not the only person who sat behind a board and thought, what's that do? I did used to send texts to engineering going, I don't know what this does. I'm going to push it.
They all run in and go, no!
Well, some say don't. Now that Chris is in engineering, he's like, push it. Push the button.
He's the id.
By the way, sometimes I do push the button.
I know you do.
This is one thing to joke about it, but you don't know if you can fix something until you break it.
You often let your intrusive thoughts win.
No.
It's
because I believe that I have the ability to fix that.
Exactly.
Or I know someone who does. So I mean,
all right. You have the scientific curiosity where you will just test something in the belief that
it's called testing a theory. My theory is this button won't break anything. And then sometimes my theory is wrong. And when my theory is wrong, then I call in experts who, maybe I'm just helping them prove that they're good at their job. That's all.
Yeah.
You look bored. Let me break something for you. Like that.
I hope you
Man, I hope I don't break anything in the next hour.
Also doing rows, exactly. That's how you figure out things. There's always a hesitation from everybody else. Is like, well, what'll happen if you hit it? It's like, I don't know. It's not like the world's gonna blow up when you flip the switch.
Yeah,
I've had one of the worst things happen to you when you flip a switch. So everything starts breaking and like electricity starts going everywhere.
I am what happens to you when you flip a switch. By the way, my granddaughter can't wink.
Oh, we got to talk about that a little bit because that was cute and also just funny. Especially how she was asking us, is like, can you close your eye? How can you close your eye?
Well, listen. I'm expressive, and I can roll my eyes in a way that she can't do.
Because she's 5, she's like, how does that even work?
I know it's just
and she asks. Well, the other thing is, I mean, all kids ask questions, but she asks so many like questions of why is this like this? Why does that work like that?
Luckily, I have experience with answering those questions because the person across from me, asked the same questions. So
She's bound to be a STEM field person.
she's going to be a nerd. Welcome into hour number 2 of the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo and Cameron here, all by our lonesomes.
All by ourselves.
No, all right. So Cameron is never alone because Pappy apparently is always with him. I also have my voices. So I apparently there is a group here, even though it doesn't look like it. Odie is not out on assignment. He's like on a stage like right now at the Clemson Little Theater. While everybody else is pretending to have an English accent. I guess he is too, because he's Irish, but I bet his is the best on the stage. There's probably some really good actors there
because he has to hear that enough.
Well, yeah, he does.
Or had to.
He did. So Odie will be back in 2 weeks. Matthew had finals and he's studying really hard. He said he forgot to tell me, which he doesn't see me anymore. So that might be a reason why I forgot to, although he saw me a bunch yesterday. We just were talking about stuff and he probably intended to tell me, he just did not. And then other people were supposed to be here and they're not. So that's just how it goes. I've had one of those work weeks where, you work really hard. I'm not complaining. You work really hard to get to a position of, I don't want to say power, but get to a position of seniority and things. So you work your way up and then you hope when you get there, you don't have to continue to do some of the things that you did to work your way up. But I am the final wall. I'm not the final boss, but I am the final wall. When things fall through and nobody else, then I got to do it. So that's why yesterday's 13 and a half, 14 hours, something like that. So, which can get, I don't think people understand what it's like to do a radio show. If you've never done one before, it's akin to, when you get that, if you've ever been on a sports team or if you've ever been in a band, or if you ever have been on the stage, there's adrenaline that you get right before you go on. And you get on and you're in the moment and you're using the adrenaline that you built up. When you're done, that adrenaline goes away. So let's say, like in my case, did a morning show and the adrenaline goes away. And then you find out due to some scheduling snafus that you have to be back, or in this case, just never leave and do another show. Yeah. To the point where I was really foggy in the beginning and I had to work my adrenaline back in and snap out of it, to the point where I had to apologize because I was just not there.
It's a rough thing to do because in your case, you always try and give it 100% for whatever you're doing.
I do.
And if you give it your all for the one thing, you don't really have a lot for the other thing.
Speaking of giving our all, we are just a few weeks away from the Upstate Pulse Christmas karaoke special, annual Christmas karaoke special. I used to put years on it, but just because it bothered Chris. And since Chris is in engineering,
just say the 11th year.
Yeah, since Chris is in engineering now, it's not as fun because I don't get to see the look on his face when I say that. If you want to be a part of the show, text line 71307 or check us out on stream because we are live. We were the first ones in the building to do it, and we still continue to do it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X at either Upstate Pulse or 98.9 WRD. Back to the Christmas karaoke special. If you're just tuning in and you weren't here for the first hour, because I saw some textures earlier, is what time does Upstate Pulse start? And it started an hour ago. But we're still here for this hour. I have talked to Charlie James. Charlie is already up for one song. He might be joining us for the entire show. I will hopefully be able to let you know by next week if he's going to be here for the entire week. I also, because you guys suggested that I talked to Bill Frady, and Bill Frady is in for a song or something Christmas related. I have an idea. I think it's a pretty good idea. Cameron thinks it's pretty funny. If Bill pulls it off the way I want him to, or I hear in my head, I think you guys are going to love it. It could be one of the highlights of the entire thing. We will be doing karaoke Christmas music only secular music, not going to make fun of hymns. I will tell you that, which is a staple of this program, Goofy and Cartman will be returning. And I'm not going to tell you what song. I'll tell you last year we did Deck the Halls. And Rob Brown from the Rob Brown Show played the trombone and the harmonica, which was just, it was
very good.
It turned out the way I thought it would. So you get ideas in your head. That's the cool part about this show. This is my favorite part about this show is I don't have to ask permission from anybody to do things. I just go with my ideas. Now, some people can go, yeah, man, I ain't doing that, which doesn't happen very often. Usually people on this show is like, yeah, why not? Let's give it a shot.
There's a thing that my buddy Michael always says during like D&D sessions. He just slams the table and just goes, do what's fun. Do what's fun. That's basically the motto of the show is do what's fun.
Yeah.
If it seems like a crazy idea, do it.
All right. We will argue and fight a little bit. But so the thing is, when I was a kid, just about everything I'm doing now, I did as a kid. I had one of those little rectangle tape recorders, and we would just make up commercials and a ton of things. Me and my sister, my cousins, kids in the neighborhood, just make things up, and never thought I'd be able to use it. So if you have a kid now and they're just doing stuff and you're like, man, that's weird, unless they're like eating Play-Doh or something, which they should not do. But if they're just being creative in a way that you don't entirely understand, they may grow up and get paid very little to do it, but they may be having fun while they do it. So
it's a slight living.
So karaoke special, I'm always excited going into it. I always get done and go, man, I wish I could have done better, but everybody else just kills it. And looking forward to doing that again this year. Let us jump on the stream. And let's see. I was talking about, do you have superhero fatigue? Trey says, Nick Fury put that kiss on his wife and was thinking he was going to cut his lips. Now, listen, if you're married to a Skrull, you know how to do things because of repetition. Maybe the first couple of times you kissed her, maybe he had. We don't know that skin's rough, do we?
What, are the lips jagged?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know.
Like shark skin?
We don't know. I think maybe he's thinking fish. I mean,
did he just straight on, or
yeah,
else you just?
I don't know. I think they're fine.
Maneuvering?
Yeah.
It's a very precise kind of.
What? Let's see. Duna Bros said had a safety guy ask me what an unlabeled breaker does. He balked when I said, I don't know, flip it. That's how I'm going to figure it out. Because I talked about on the stream earlier that sometimes there are buttons. You walk into a room and you're like, I wonder what this does. And I joke with engineering, hey, I'm going to push the button. And engineers of the past have told me do not push the button. But Chris is in engineering now, and he says push the button with zeal, with excitement.
You're just listening to the advice given.
Yeah, I think sometimes Chris is like, I have no idea what that does. Let's see. I can probably fix it. So I think also Chris pushes that button sometimes and gets in trouble because it leads to problems for him. His curiosity.
He is very
Trey says it was the teeth.
We don't get that deep.
Yeah, no, talking about the.
No, I got you.
They were pointy, aren't they?
Yes, they have very pointy teeth.
Yeah,
he's right.
It's like kissing a vampire. I'm sure. I mean,
just
Yeah,
keep it within like a certain plane of distance.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if the makeup is.
Here's the thing: the lips will be fine. Just don't go any further.
That's time for break. That's what that is. All right. When we come back, we are talking video games, especially the Video Game Awards. And also, I have a problem. I have a major problem on a game that I'm playing right now with glitches. And I don't know how glitches, man. Glitches, them glitches. I don't know what your solution to a glitch would be, but I'm going to ask you guys about it. Listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. All right, your mom's texting. I haven't looked at it yet, but you're going to probably have to explain why you're trying to go a direction that I'm trying to stop you. It wasn't that bad. I
should have actually just explained what it was. Just like, be careful using tongue on a scroll.
All right. No, it's not. Actually, she's sending us more Christmas list stuff,
Yeah.
which is cool. It's like the most she's ever sent. Not complaining.
I'll be home for Christmas.
Don't be giving them no free samples of what's going to be done. You got to
Okay.
tune in for that.
Okay, my bad.
What in the world are you doing, man?
I don't know.
What's like wrong with you?
I've been sick all day and my head
No, I
feels
don't
like
wanna
it's
hear
in a
all that.
fog.
Just, pull it together, Reitzel.
I am together. I'm built different.
We all built different.
Ain't nobody in here built.
Sturdy is as sturdy does, sir.
Someone was saying they were built different at one point. I just very quickly said, I was like, no. You're just built incorrectly. You're built stupid.
I'm built ram tough.
5 minutes later, broke down on the side of the road.
That's enough. Rams, I think, are pretty good. I don't know. I've never had one.
I'm not a truck guy, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, me either. There's nothing wrong if you are a truck guy, unless you're like driving one that you can't drive, especially that you can't
Unless
park.
you're doing like the squat thing, then you're kind of dumb.
If you need help to get in it, it's probably way too big.
Do they have ladders? Do they have specialized ladders?
I don't. They may have a step. Some of them have steps on them. No, Trey. Trust me. I've got the bestest idea for Bill.
Did you just say bestest?
The bestest.
I
And
have the bestest of ideas.
He's going to love it. Oh, again, nothing against truck owners. I probably could use a truck to haul off some stuff that I need hauled off, but just never been that guy. Had a stepdad once that was a truck guy. Always had to ride in the back of the thing. Maybe that's why I don't. Back in the day, people weren't smart enough to know that you probably shouldn't be doing that. In Lawrence County, they still aren't. But,
I don't think they ever will be.
It's all right.
It's like dairy.
Diddy, can I ride in the back of the truck? Sure thing, son.
So I don't put all the kids in the back of the truck, so you have some spares.
You're going a direction that's too far.
Sorry.
You imply without actually saying things. That's how that works, because, liability and stuff. We at Odyssey Greenville and News Talk 98.9 do not necessarily agree with the comments of the guest.
The guest was also joking.
Yes, well, a lot of people are, and they get canceled. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo and Cameron here hanging out on a Saturday night. We are at that time of the night where we're going to talk some video games. But before we do, let's talk about video game adaptations. The adaptations that are going on right now, including last year, Halo Season 1 came out, and was it on Paramount? I think it was on Paramount.
Yes.
And it was all right. I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible either. It was one of those where we kept the love story. It was
mid.
Yeah. But the effects weren't bad. And
when it was getting into the action, it was good.
Yeah, the action was. I did not realize that they're doing a season 2, but they are, and supposedly that will be coming out in February. So we are just a couple months away from Halo season 2. And it wasn't bad enough that I go, you know what? I'm not watching.
By the way, you should see the trailer for season 2 because it covers the fall of Reach.
Does it? Okay.
And that
my
is-
favorite Halo game.
Yes. You know, the one where everyone dies.
Yeah, well, you know, it was kind of like a certain movie. But
it's always great when you see the objective and it just says survive.
yeah, well, yeah, there's that. And you do, and then you go, okay, and then there's your head on the ground and things start to
People still think that Noble 6 is just in a cave on Reach.
Okay, well, could be. I mean, I don't know. So anyway, that game was pretty cool. Cameron went away from college, and I played every difficulty level of that, and it just kept playing it.
I was so shocked when
Yeah,
we talked
well-
because you weren't into first person shooters back then.
I wasn't, but
You
I can adapt. I can try new things. I can, you know, some of them I might like, some of them I might not. So anyway, the Halo season 2 series comes out, or Halo series season 2 comes out in February. Fallout. All right, we talked about this when it first broke that they were doing a Fallout TV series, and we're really worried about it. Still a little bit worried, but not as much because pictures came out, and then they just dropped the trailer. So if you haven't watched the Fallout TV series trailer, you should check it out.
it looks legit.
It does
look good.
Yeah, the armor looks good. When the one of the stars walks out of the vault for the first time, and you see her view of that, her view of some of the other things. Are they warbirds? What are they called? I forget. Why do I forget what they're called?
Vertibirds.
Vertibirds. The vertibirds look really, really good.
The power armor looks awesome.
Yes, I really like the power armor, and it's Walter Coggins, who's been in a lot of stuff. People really like him. Is going to be a ghoul, and
He's good in whatever he's in.
yeah, and he's a ghoul bounty hunter, and you can see what he's doing in the
I wonder if
trailer.
he's going to have this kind of.
Oh,
voice.
he's got to have that voice. I hope.
He
But
does change his voice up too.
and I read some about the series and about what his inspiration was. He said that his son was more of a Skyrim guy and into it and everything, and he had never really played any Fallout games. And he said his son walked in and was like, "Are you going to be in this? Let's sit down and play Fallout." And he said no, because he didn't want to be influenced about how he's going to play the character. So the character is a ghoul bounty hunter. So instead, he watched a bunch of Clint Eastwood movies, a bunch of cowboy type things, and like the good and the bad and the ugly, stuff like that. And he's going to base that character off of that.
Which it looks like it's in the West anyway.
Yeah, and
Like,
they-
is it set in California?
I don't remember
I don't know where
what the
Vault
setting
33
is.
is.
Yeah, there are vaults all over the place. So eventually, there'll be one right here in South Carolina. I'm
Yeah.
sure. So looking forward to that. I really am, because obviously I love the game.
There's also one thing I thought of when I was watching this, and I want to bring this up to you, Dad. And this is more of a nerd roundtable thing, so you can table this for later. But when you're playing a game that has like a lot of dark themes and stuff, for some reason, I think watching it will bother me more than playing through it.
Yeah, definitely a roundtable thing. So bring it up when we get to roundtable in the next segment. Speaking of video games, because we are in the video game segment, I have been playing a game called Baldur's Gate 3 a ton. I've also been playing some other games, including Starfield, but I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 a bunch. Started a Dark Urge playthrough because I wanted to see what that was like. I got all the way down to with a lot of games, when you get near the end, there's like a meeting place where you meet all your allies before you go out and face the final boss. I am to that. And I put in a lot of hours in this playthrough and still haven't done everything because I skipped a couple things on purpose. And the game is glitched on me. And I am curious about how you guys handle this. Text line 71307 or stream Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or X. How do you handle this? So there's a meeting place. You've went through and you've done all these side missions to get all these different factions to be on your side, to face the final boss. You have this big speech. Everything's good. And then suddenly one of them says, usurper, and all your allies attack you. So all my allies have attacked me. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to kill my allies. I need them. I need them to face the final boss.
Do you?
I think I need them. Okay. And so,
They are but a crutch.
yeah, well, anyway, I need meat shields. That's what I do. I need meat shields so I can get to. All right, Texas says reset the game. All right, as far as resetting the game, I went back to an earlier save, not too far back, because there are three mini bosses that you have to take care of before you get to the final boss. The problem is there's this one guy that I never fought because I didn't really have to fight him. He's a mini boss, and he's the guy who wants everybody to attack me. So now do I go back like 5 hours real time, not game time, but not in game time, but 5 hours real time, eliminate 5 hours of gameplay to go back to take this guy out? And it may not be that many hours, but I have a feeling it probably is. And there are a bunch of autosaves, and I might be able to go back. Do I do that, or do I just take out all my allies and then see if I can beat the main boss without them? Because I have a pretty good party. So my party isn't attacking me; it's the allies, which are the extra guys. So when you face the final boss, it's my second time playing through the game, because you can play through as a bunch of different things.
So
good
many
guy,
different
bad
things you
guy.
can do.
Yeah. There's like 40,000 lines and all kinds of stuff in it, and a bunch of different ways that you can beat the game in the thousands. So, which is great for replayability, and it's a Dungeons and Dragons game, and it has Dungeons and Dragons rules, and it's very immersive, and you can really get into your role. So much so as playing a bad guy made it really hard. All right, I am going to noob myself for that as soon as I get an open channel. But I don't know if I want to go back, and I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. Cameron, what is your solution?
Kill them all. Just take out your allies. Just move on with it.
It's so frustrating, man. I've been having so
The other
much
thing is,
fun
like,
with the
in
game,
5
and I get there
hours-
and it's like, why is he doing that? And then so immediately,
Just objection.
immediately you go online and try to figure out, okay, and it's a glitch, and a lot of people have had the glitch, and I knew that guy was bad news when he showed up. When he showed up, and it's like,
Is it specifically why that guy? Because you just
I can't tell you.
oh yeah.
And so I knew, because I don't want to spoil for you. I knew he was bad news when he showed up. And it's like, okay, well, maybe he's going to help me out. And
Well,
no.
To quote Taylor Swift, I knew you were trouble when
All
you
right.
walked in.
So Dunabros says, play it through. Let the dice decide the game. See, that's the thing. I agree with that. But this is a glitch. And I now know it's a known glitch. So the game wasn't designed to do what it's doing.
Yeah, because I mean, you never talked to the guy in the first place, so why in the world is he even there?
Yeah. So that's the part that bothers me. There's been, all right, Dunabro said could always set aside for a patch. There's been 5 patches.
The other thing is,
And this has been a problem since September, and they haven't fixed it.
one thing to point out is you're near the end of the game. It won't take that long for you to get to the final boss and clear through that. If it causes so much problems, what's another 5 hours? You like playing the game anyway. What rush are you in?
That's true. That's true.
Just set aside the fact that it's inconvenient and stupid.
All right. Text line 71307. Texter says, you don't need those backstabbers. Be a man and go at the boss head on. Leroy Jenkins.
I'm with him.
Fought that boss before, couldn't beat it. So I took the easy road out. There's a guy who's willing to blow himself up and kill everything, the martyr route. And because I wanted to see what that ending was, and I knew I was going to play it again, I was like, yeah, go ahead, blow yourself up. So I've never actually beat this boss before. And that's my problem. I'm worried that I can't beat him without
It's
all
in
that
your head.
help.
It's in your brain.
It is.
The brain is in your brain.
I am I'm doubting myself.
You need a pappy pep talk. is
I
what
do
you
not need a pappy pep talk.
Dadgummit, you've went from a scrubby nobody to being at one of the greatest cities in all of the Sword Coast. You gonna give up now just because your allies don't like you? People don't like you sometimes. It sucks. Get over it. You don't need them. Go and show that brain what for.
All right, I am playing as a drow. Drow don't care. Like,
No.
yeah, so it's like, okay.
You're from the Underdark.
I think part of it is I spent a lot of time doing side missions to get these guys, and now they all want to kill me. By the way, I just want to point out I'm playing as the bad guy. When I do what I'm going to do at the end, I'm probably going to have to kill them all
They're all
anyway.
probably going to die anyway.
Yeah,
Who cares?
but I want to use them to beat the thing that I couldn't beat before. So yeah, I'm doubting myself, but you guys are making me want to just go ahead and do what I got to do and get through it and see what happens. I'm going to go back because see, here's the reason why I'm probably going back. I'm going to save that save in case it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I'm going to go back is I want to see if going back and taking that guy out stops the glitch from happening. So this is testing a theory because I believe that's the guy who's causing a glitch.
True.
So if I go back and take that guy out and make it back to that spot and it doesn't happen, then future playthroughs I will know, and so will other people, including Cameron, to make sure you take that guy out.
Which I am very glad for. Because
Yes. So maybe consider it a service. Dinner Bro says Loth requires the sacrifice of your companions. I'm also playing the Dark Urge, so someone else requires it.
Yeah.
Or something else requires it. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to hit the Nerd Roundtable. In the Roundtable, we're also going to talk about video game awards. I know I keep saying it, but we definitely are. And I will also noob myself when we come back because I left Fox up. And you know, that even though I said no noobs, that one is unforgivable. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. Describe the glitch. All right, see, the problem is I only used one major save, my save, and it's after that. There are some auto saves, and I can go back to the auto saves, but if it goes back beyond one of the two bosses in Act 3 that I've already beat, I won't do it. Because one of them was difficult and the other one I mopped the floor with, and I'm never going to beat them that easy ever again. And so I don't. The one that was really hard for me the first time, I tore him up. And so I do not want to go back and do that. Oh yeah, I need to. Is there an unforgivable noob error? Not on this show, but on some other shows, I've had to remove the person from the board because the mistakes were so bad. I've had to do that before. I've had a decent crop of guys lately.
Did you call him a donkey?
No. I've had a decent crop of guys lately, and I'm saying, guys, we've had girls work here before too. Just none are working here as producers at this
I
moment.
feel like guys at this point is just gender neutral.
What? What are you talking about, gender neutral?
Like when you refer to.
Oh yeah, but in this case,
it actually is just a whole bunch.
Yeah,
of
I'm being literal. Yeah.
It was as if you were trying to defend your.
There is no. Well, yeah, there is. That's just not noob. That's just like I've made a mistake. This person can't do it. We usually are a pretty good judge of things, but there have been a couple people that just can't be taught. And I am probably the most patient trainer out of everybody. Other people, not so much.
I have witnessed the high bar of other people.
So to a degree, the new button came about because this used to be and still is to a degree mostly producers doing the show, and the other producers on the show, if they were hosting and not producing, were very harsh on whoever was behind the board if they messed up. And so it's a challenge. It's a challenge to not mess up. That's what it is. And it's also a learning experience. If you put it in someone's head, I don't want that, they're going to strive to not get that. Or it could have the opposite effect. They could strive to not get that and they get it multiple times. There's only been one triple noob ever on this show, and it was me, and it was like 2 weeks ago. I had a triple noob myself. Today, probably could have did it 4 or 5 times, but yeah.
I think you had a grace day.
I was a little frustrated in the first hour. I'm good now. What should be unforgivable is leaving Fox News up twice, which I've done before. I mean, that's just the main one, and everyone knows that, and everyone has done it. Because when it's done, nothing happens. There's no audio for like 20 minutes, and you don't realize that you left it up. All right, so Chris on the stream says the quad noob. I'd like to see that. No, it's it's the finger of God, man. You don't want to see that.
What do you mean the finger of God?
It's a movie quote.
Okay, I'll have to look.
It's yeah. You can look it up. It's a movie quote. All right, before we move on with the roundtable, let me go ahead and get myself because I left Fox up. There we go. The sound of angry Zach calling me a noob. I'm one of the few people where it hits home a little bit harder because of who it is saying it. All right. In the roundtable, we asked earlier, is there superhero fatigue? And I think there is for some people. Here's the reason why I don't have superhero fatigue. Because I'm older. I know how that sounds, but because I'm older, I grew up in a time where, man, I wish there were superhero movies. Man, I wish that would be so cool if that was on screen. And then I believe it was 1976 when the Christopher Reeve Superman happened. And it was like the first superhero movie that I was like, oh, I think the tagline is "You will believe a man can fly." And got to see it at the drive-in. There was a Superman comic book involved. It's like, okay, maybe someday they can do this even better. And then the Michael Keaton Batman came out. It's like, okay, we're getting closer. We're getting so much closer. And then other things came out, including Spider-Man, a couple of different Spider-Mans, the Spider-Mans. And then Iron Man came out and changed everything. And it really did. It launched the genre even more because there's always going to be room for Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man. Those are the three. It's hard to fail at Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man. Now you may say George Clooney, but that movie still made money. It did because it was Batman. I mean, when you can take a glitter vampire and turn him into Batman, it did well. Why? Because it's Batman.
It's his vengeance.
And Catwoman, Zoe was not bad. Yeah, there you go. So I don't have superhero fatigue because this is one of the things as a kid I always dreamt about happening, and now it's here. I mean, you can put out a superhero movie every week and I'm probably going to go see it. And I'm not going to be as critical as a lot of other people are because as a kid, this is what I always wanted to see. And this is like dreams come true, getting to see things, getting to see, like I went back and watched some of the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, and not nearly as good as Tom Holland. I think Tom Holland is the closest to the real Spider-Man that I've ever seen. And so I want more of that. And Avengers Endgame, people blame that for fatigue because it was really good and it was very emotional. But then Spider-Man is No Way Home. Yeah, No Way Home came out. That was a great movie.
Yeah.
And not just because there were a couple other Spider-Mans in it, but because it was a great movie. And there's been other really good movies that I've liked. When you come out of there and you're smiling or you're sad or it invokes some sort of emotion, then I think it was a good movie.
Like I can think of three off the top of my head.
If you come out of it and you're just like, hey, it was all right.
Yeah. Like, so Shang-Chi I thought was really, really good. That's another post-Endgame movie. Guardians 3, also a really good movie.
It kind of made me mad, but I mean, for a different reason. I mean, the Gamora thing, it's just really, but everything else about it was great.
Well, I mean, the other thing
Nathan Fillion was amazing.
Yes, he's always awesome.
Yeah, good. Everybody's got one of those guys. I got a couple. So yeah.
You just sympathize with the guy so much.
I absolutely do. I completely get it. So was there any more? Or was just those couple? By the way, I had to fill in with Marvels.
Yeah,
I really
throw Marvels too.
I really like Marvel because it made me laugh. It invoked a lot of emotions, and I think demographically it was probably more geared towards women. But as a superhero fan, I loved it. My wife thought it was a great movie.
Yeah.
She wanted to go back and see it again. And she really is not that person to want to go see something more than once. And she wanted to go back and see it again. If I told her, hey, let's go watch that again, she would go right now. If I told her, hey, meet me tonight, we're going to go watch that again, she would go watch it. So she enjoyed it. And I think press comes into play. And when I say press, I mean social media. Social media has decided, like, this could be the end of disco. I mean, it could.
You know, you've been saying that. I really do agree with that because they're trying to spin it to where, like, this is done. It's a trend that's over. They keep saying it over and over again. You say it like an earworm, it's going to get into people's brains.
And
regardless of how much you ignore it.
And you have these major actors like Jodie Foster. What's the last thing she was ever in? Which she might be in one of those Oscar movies that only a select few go and see. Jodie Foster says that that superhero movies are a phase that's went on too long. And she's also made a point, like a bunch of other people have made. Here's the thing, you don't know what quality movies are. You know what a quality movie is? It's one that people go see. If your movie is quality, then it should make enough money that a lot of people will go and see it. Because word of mouth is what helps a movie just as much as advertising does.
Yeah.
I mean, you can throw out, millions of dollars in advertising and the movie could drop in a day because people don't like it.
And
But
you can have a friend who their movie taste and all that stuff. And if they like it, and they can be like, well, I like some of the stuff that he likes. So yeah, I gotta give this movie a try.
And that's how Rotten Tomatoes, Botten Tomatoes. I mean, it's been proven that a bunch of bots are on there and all that kind of stuff. I think the best judge of a movie is walking out of the theater and looking at everybody else and trying to see and see the looks on people's faces. The faces, if there are people who are talking about the movie who shouldn't be, but are anyway because they can't contain themselves, or there's little groups going, you can see they're trying to get to their car or get away from the other people who are going in the theater so they can talk about it. That kind of thing, I think that's proof a movie is good. Now, something else that comes into play also is the fact that how quickly it's out on stream and the economy can come into play.
Yep.
But the thing is, when I think of Jodie Foster's comment, one thing comes to mind. One word comes to mind. Barbie.
Yeah.
Barbie, not a superhero movie, but it's Barbie, a movie about a toy. Beat Oppenheimer, which was supposed to be the big, and probably will win a bunch of Oscars. Barbie destroyed that.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the debate on this show about what we thought would win, and I thought Barbie would win.
Honestly, I think a lot of Oppenheimer's money actually comes from the whole joke of Barbenheimer.
It probably does.
Because it's like it's so because people were making a joke of how drastically different the two movies are. I was like, yeah, let's just see both.
All right. Let's segue, because I'm really good at it, into Dr. Doom. Now, you may say, how can you segue from Oppenheimer into Dr. Doom? Well, there's rumor out there about who people think is going to play Dr. Doom. It is an actor, just happened to be in Oppenheimer, also happened to be in Batman. And that would be Cillian Murphy, because I don't know how to say his first
I
name.
think it's Killian.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go with Cillian because I like it better.
I should have said Cillian. Dang it.
Yeah, it's him as Dr. Doom.
I could see it.
So the rumor is out there that he will be Dr. Listen, who they have playing Reed Richards is not going to work. I mean, and all these are rumors right now because we don't know. The actor strike is over, so things are getting back into the swing of.
Yeah, because I can't see Pedro being.
Yeah, I can't.
Mr. Fantastic.
I can't. And is it because of John Krasinski? I don't know. Maybe it is. Once you saw John Krasinski get shredded, you can't get that out of your head, and you think maybe he should be the guy. By the way, Dunabro says, I feel like a quality movie is one that is still good 3 to 5 years later. True. As far as the plot and things like that goes, if it's 5 years later and the effects hold up, then there's a problem, because that means the effects haven't advanced.
True. But if the story and all the other stuff holds together fine, then yes, it's a very good way to look at it.
All right. So I definitely can see Cillian Murphy doing
because he's got that kind of presence and he can be intimidating.
But there are a couple others that would be better. Is it Mads Mikkelsen?
Well, he's already been He's already been in the MCU.
Doesn't matter. It's behind a mask. I mean, Dr. Doom. I mean, unless you're seeing the origin, and I don't think you necessarily need to see the origin.
Mads Mikkelsen could pull it off.
And who's the guy that was that's one of your favorite guys? Who was in Inglourious and some other things. Forget his name. It's another guy who's like a German actor or something.
Christoph Waltz.
That's it, Christoph Waltz.
I don't know if Christoph Waltz.
Come on, he would make a great Dr. Doom.
He's tiny.
Text line. So are most actors in Hollywood.
Mini Doom.
Yeah, I mean, he can wear platforms.
Short King of Latveria.
If I remember correctly, I think Dr. Doom does wear platforms. So it could be. Yeah. What do you think?
Doom will invent platforms.
Text line 71307. Does he have to be a German sounding dude? What does a Latvian sound like? I don't know.
He just has pumps.
Why not? Hey, you saw Lord of the Rings. You just do angles. That's all. That's just what you do. You do angles. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to hit the lightning round and talk about some other stuff. I think Dr. Doom is so evil, he could be like 4 foot tall. Don't matter. How short is that guy? You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here. News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. So how short is he?
He's 5'7".
Okay. How short is Cillian Murphy? 5'7" is pretty short. It's tall compared to Tom Cruise, but.
Cillian Murphy is also 5'7".
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, but there's
why did you think Rick Moranis is Dr. Doom? I can see it. I can see it. He can come out of retirement for it. What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken? All right, how tall is Mads Mikkelsen?
I will say Dr. Doom is 6'2".
What? Why would you say that? Because you looked up how tall Dr. Doom is?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like when Mads Mikkelsen is 6 feet tall. He could do it. If
There
you're
we
at
go.
least over 6 feet tall, you could do it.
The other two could be a quarterback for the Carolina Panthers.
Yes. I mean, I think the main thing is you have to have the regality and the intimidation factor to be Doom.
Yeah, but I think part of that has to do with the mask and the voice. I mean, you put those voices of a couple of those guys behind that mask, it ain't gonna matter how tall he is.
The main
And
problem
he can stand on a box.
the main problem I have with Kristoff is he's too happy.
Yeah. Yes, Duna Bros. Because Henry Cavill can do anything.
Yes. I would actually like to see
Yeah,
Henry
yeah. So
Cavill's
I mean,
Dr. Doom.
and he's tall. He fits Cameron's criteria.
I have now adopted
But Highlander's getting ready to start working on it, and he's going to be in Highlander. So
it's the same it's the same out there criteria that most women have.
I wonder who the
about dates.
Kurgan will be in it. Not going to be Mr. Krabs anymore because he's too old now.
Yeah, I like money. I had a previous life SpongeBob me boy. I did terrible things. I killed Sean Connery.
I hope in the Highlander reboot they started out the same way the original did, which was a fight in Madison Square Garden in the parking lot, not in the parking lot, in the out in the mezzanine or something, while wrestling was going on, and it was Fabulous Freebirds against somebody, and they're out there having a sword fight while wrestling's going on. Yeah, probably did. Now I want to go home and watch Highlander. Listen to that Queen soundtrack. That weird guy down in the common room in college just would play that and the soundtrack from Flash Gordon over and over again while we're down there playing pool.
That's weird. Why particularly Flash Gordon?
I think they both were Queen.
Okay, that makes sense. So he's a big Queen fan.
Apparently. I don't know why I remember that. That was 1986. But I still remember it because it was just so odd. It stood out. And I had watched Flash Gordon 25,000 times. And it's yeah, I know that.
Lightning can only strike twice so many times.
All right, it is lightning round time. Time to talk about things that we didn't get to earlier. Let's talk about something that's too big, and that is Florida's newest resident, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, is already stirring up trouble with his neighbors. The latest controversy involves Koru. You know what Koru is, Cameron?
I have no idea.
It's his 400-foot mega yacht. 400-foot mega yacht. The problem is the $500 million schooner is apparently too big to dock near the other yachts. So it's currently docked next to oil tankers and container ships at Port Everglades. Bezos recently announced plans to move from Seattle to Miami to be closer to his parents and girlfriend, and probably so he doesn't have to pay state taxes, because my understanding, you don't have to do that there. So my dude, and I use that loosely, is his yacht is so big it has to be parked next to tankers. That's money. That's real money. That's not that. That's not that NBA or NFL player money. That's real money.
With your small mansions,
Yeah,
I have a yacht the
yeah.
size of several.
Yeah. Trey,
My yacht's the size of a small town.
Trey, don't make me block you. You know I hate that song.
Because we're having a good
Stop
time.
it. Stop it. That's the worst song ever created by man. Suicide Squad trailer is out. Suicide Squad.
He's a guy.
Thank you. I was going to get it.
I know. I believe in you. Lightning round. We go fast.
It was today. Yeah, we got time. It was in the shadow, so I couldn't see the. So have you watched it?
Yes.
It looks
Clayface is Michael Jackson essentially.
it's very just well. I mean, it's
Well, no, I was
true
just
to
watching,
life,
it's like,
accurate,
Who
all that
is,
kind of
who is
stuff.
that Michael Jackson looking wannabe? And he turns into Clayface. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. So if you want to see Suicide Squad as an anime and you want to see King Shark just like
He
eating,
just eats everyone.
it's like eating everyone. Yeah, there's like legs sticking out. It's just
Ugh.
I'm guessing it's probably going to be
Humane.
sub, not dubbed. I wish it was dubbed though.
It'll probably get dubbed. That's the way most of these things work.
I hope so. By the way, Baldur's Gate 3 just came out with one of the biggest patches ever. It took like a couple hours for me to download it. And they keep adding to this game. Yes, the game that was glitching that I was talking about earlier. They added, what did I say, epilogues?
Epilogue.
They added epilogues. So after you beat the game, it will show you at camp 6 months later. And so it will let you know what all has happened in the last 6 months through conversations and stuff.
Hey, everyone's alive.
Like,
Sweet.
you have subjugated all the weak and now, rule the all of the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it could be. It absolutely could be. I hope to get there someday if I can
That's
get past the
using your
stupid
brain
glitch.
there.
Yeah. Man, I hope I can get past that. All right. GTA 6 trailer is supposed to drop like tomorrow, I think it is. The thing is, I don't care. I know a lot of people are into GTA. I'm just not. Video Game Awards coming out this Thursday, I believe it is, December 7th, which I believe is Thursday.
Yes.
And Game of the Year nominees, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I don't believe our Legends of Zelda guy is on the stream right now because he'd be like screaming, see, told you it's that good. And I know earlier on I said Diablo 4 was going to compete with it. It didn't. But Baldur's Gate did. And Baldur's Gate has already cleaned up on some other things. There's a good shot it wins again. If it doesn't and Zelda wins, I'm not going to do that thing. If this wins, we riot. No, but it will be very disappointing.
Can we?
Oh, you can riot all the time you want, I guess.
I was right in my mind.
Yes, well, hopefully it's quelled at some point. Best performance, Ben Starr, Final Fantasy, Cameron Monaghan from Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba from Cyberpunk, Melanie Liebert from Alan Wake 2, Neil Newbon from Baldur's Gate, and Yuri Lowenthal from Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I don't know. How does Idris Elba not win? Because he wins everything. I'm gonna call. I know everyone loves Asterion. I'm gonna think Idris Elba wins because they just want him there. You know? They want him. If Idris Elba is at the Video Game Awards, if that Keanu Reeves there,
yeah,
you want Idris Elba there. You just do. I mean, come on.
Well, but Idris has the same kind of cool guy factor. I don't think he's gonna get upset if he doesn't win. He still got paid.
All right, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Sorry we had less people than we normally do, and but we got by. We did it. And next week, who knows? Maybe people show up.
You get by with a little help from here. Oh yeah,
yeah. My child, Dunabro says Asterion may be one of the best acted video game characters of. I've ever seen. Darling. I can't do it. Darling. I can't do the voice.
Yes, darling.
Yes, darling. Yes. Yeah, and this playthrough that I'm doing right now, he's the master vampire. We'll see if I ever get to finish the game. We will talk to you guys next week. And have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
What kind of ending is that?
All right, so I do this thing a lot where I cover a mistake with something goofy, but then you always bring it up.
Here's the thing. You could have just said I'm just being goofy or something. I never.
Thanks, guys. But this is a teachable moment. Stop doing that. If I do
What'd
something,
you mess up then?
If I do something like that, it's because I screwed up,
Well,
and I'm covering it.
Screw up
because I'm a radio professional. I have won many awards. My name is in the annals
The annals?
The annals of South Carolina's Broadcasters Association, not only as Lonzo, but as Gerald. All right, so
I have many names.
yes,
Not all of them have the circuit.
both of them are still my name, but anyway, thanks guys. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm not going to do that thing that Rob says that we can do better, because you guys know we can. And it wasn't bad. Wasn't bad.
We're always at our best.
One thing I want to say is bye, because I want to go home.
Yeah, why are we still doing this?
I don't know.
Hit the end button.
Say goodbye, Cameron.
Goodbye.
I'm hitting the end button now, and then we have to see how